tyrant Nimrod, Gilgamesh of Shinar, enslaved the first empire. One world language, one world religion, one world order.
Welcome to Hide and Seek TV. It's your boy Hide and Seek. And I told y'all I got some stuff coming. I'm about to do this NBA video. It's been a little quick minute. But this right here, what I'm going to do first off, while I even get into this, I'm going to drop the my original Malice in the Palace video. I'm putting that in the comment section below. And I'm going to drop the NBA series chapters, 1 through 15 in the comment section below as well. So you can check it out. I got a whole series on this. I got NFL, UFC, all of that. But WWE. But let's delve deep into this right here. I'm going to start it off first with First Maccabees 1 through 14. As it's written, so they built a gymnasium in Jerusalem according to the Greek custom, and removed the marks of circumcision and abandoned the holy covenant, and they joined with the Greeks, aka the Gentiles, and sold themselves to do evil. So let's get deep on this about the whole theme of the sports. And you already know this is nothing but Roman Greek culture. And that's why when we watch this, I used to be a heavy LeBron James, heavy LeBron James fan. But now that I woke up to, aware of what's going on, as it's written in 1 Thessalonians 5:6, therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. So let us watch and be aware of what we're watching, and know the signs in this, you know what I mean? Because this stuff is deep. And what I want to start this off with at first, which is going to be a serious theme. For everybody who's been watching my channel, y'all know I'll be breaking these numbers down in a sense of, why they repetitively use the specific number of 76, 44, 45. And I'm going to get to this because I want to use this in a level so you can understand where I'm going. Because obviously, as you see, when he hit Isaiah Stewart, the whole thing, notice the number they made sure they flashed right here. You got 70 on the referee, you got number 6. As you can see, the score is 66-78. So hint that 76 right there. Obviously 70 plus 6 is 76. And then you got 667 at the bottom, with the score. So in the scriptures as it's written in Isaiah 19:19, and that day there should be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord, and it should be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts. And when you understand the top of the pyramid is actually measured at 76 degrees, and that represents the Messiah being in rulership and power. And in Colossians 2:17, as it's written, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Yahushua, aka Christ. So you see when the 76 degrees have the sunlight beam upon it, what does it do? It foreshadows the kingdom to come. You know what I'm saying? So you see that 76. This is why they use this, because this was a high level ritual. And I'm going to break this down because the Messiah is rising up. So let's delve deep into this. And what's very deep, as you can see, Toronto Raptors, the game following this is Toronto Raptors versus the Golden State Warriors the night that this went down. And as you can see, it's crazy because notice Toronto Raptors, hint obviously, that represents, I broke that down, that represents the beast, the mark of the beast. And the beast battling against the Golden State Warriors representing the saints of God, who are refined as gold. So hint that was the following game. And then notice this, the time on the clock is 91-8, 9 minutes and 18 seconds, my fault. Hint your boy Ron Artest. Remember, he used to wear number 91. I remember the whole theme of the Malice in the Palace, you know what I mean? So it's all in our face. You see that? Look at that. It's no way around this. You see Ron Artest? I'm gonna get into all of this. But notice Ron Artest used to wear 91. And as you can see, the clock has 91 on it right there. 9 minutes and 18 seconds. And notice this whole ritual. Come on, man. I want to just break this stuff down to y'all. Because what's so deep, obviously, Isaiah is the guy that LeBron, obviously hit. And, in the scriptures in Isaiah 53, it speaks about in Isaiah 53:5, as it's written, but he was wounded for our transgressions, which is talking about the Messiah that's coming at the time Isaiah was prophesying about. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities, and the chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. So hence why they had to have Isaiah Stewart with the damaged eye. You know what I'm saying? And notice how he goes into suspension, because in Isaiah 53:8, as it's written, he was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generations? For he was cut off out of the land of the living, for the transgression of my people was he stricken. And the Messiah, that was going to go through the crucifixion. So you see that through his wounds we are healed. This stuff is deep, man, and it's all in our face, because LeBron used his elbow. You know what I mean? And as we know, as it's written, we're supposed to uplift the Messiah. We're supposed to uplift the name of the Lord. So hint the whole theme of that. Hint that Hennessy, came out 1765, hint the 76. And then you got what? You got the whole theme of the elbow, uplifting, as it's written that, the Messiah is the carpenter. So hint you got the axe right there. And you got the elbow uplifting the Messiah, but they want to try to cover that up with drunkenness, hence the Hennessy. But that's a whole nother video for another day. But just notice how deep this stuff goes. And I want to take it further. You know what I'm saying? So look at it too. As you can see the clock, you got 918, and then notice the score was 776 at the time. The Pistons had home, so hence 77-66. 76 right there. No way around it. And they was doing the free throw to get to 78. But notice that he hit him right in the eye when 76 was still on the clock. On the score. All in our face. And it's deep, because what I want to talk about, obviously, as it's written that the Messiah is the living waters. He's the man out to sea. So hint the whole theme of the Lakers, hint the lakes. And then hint how you have King James. Hint the King James, the word of God. And then you got Isaiah. Remember I just broke that down about Isaiah Stewart. So it's all in our face. So I want to show y'all some more examples. This is off BMF. As you can see, you got the 76 right there by the two pyramids going like in a clock, like in a spiral. You know what I mean? Like in a circle more so. Hint the Messiah rising up. You got the 76 right there. That was on BMF. Notice LeBron again when he was playing against the Rockets. You see he has number 6. He's by Carmelo, who wears number 7, hit 76. And then you got 76 following him. Hit the Houston Rockets. Players number 7 and 6 following him. And then LeBron and Melo, LeBron wears 6, Melo wears 7. So hit 76, 76. There's no way around this stuff. Hit Melo, 76. So it's all in our face. You know what I mean? Notice this was a fight from a while back with Candace Parker. Notice in the midst of the fight, I think she was fighting a girl named Christy. And then notice you got 76 right there in the midst. The 667. Delve deeper. Notice on the clock when John Wall back in Kentucky, when he hit that game-winning shot, he got 27.6 on the clock, 76. Let's get even deeper. And when the Bulls was playing against the Warriors, remember when Caruso was playing that defense real hard on Curry, notice they stopped the clock at 7.6. No way around this stuff. All in our face. And what's so deep is because this situation with the Lakers and the Pistons happened. When was that? Like on November 21st, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of days ago. So it's the Malice at the Palace took place in November 19th, 04. And then notice the people in attendance. The amount of people that day was 22,076 people. Hit the 76. There's no way around it. You know what I mean? And notice how that situation happened a few days after the original. I want to get deep because I want to talk about the Pistons schedule after that whole situation that went down, right? It's deep stuff. Let's delve deep into this because obviously they played against the Miami Heat. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get into that in a minute. And that was the game right after that. They played against the Heat. LeBron used to play for the Heat, but I'm going to break down the symbolism in that in a minute. And obviously, remember, they played against the Bucks, against the Milwaukee Bucks. And what's so deep about that, because the Pistons play at the Little Caesars Arena, the Caesar Augustus, the whole theme of the Rome Greek culture, the Caesar Arena. And then notice how they go against the against the Bucks, who are what? The Greek Freak. You got the Greek Freak Come on, man. The Greek freak. You feel what I'm saying? The deer represents Israel in the wilderness. You know, as it's written, we are in the spiritual wilderness. And Israel, you have rebellious Israel. You know what I mean? Who rebel against the Most High and His laws, and therefore they go through the judgments, always hunted. You know what I mean? Always being hunted by these nations who want to lead us into destruction. The whole Greek, Roman system, spiritual Babylon, spiritual Egypt, what we're living in. But hint the whole thing with the Babylon. Hint, as you know, as we already know, the lion is in duality. You know, you got the Messiah who's the Lion of Judah, and then on how they utilize that for wickedness, that whole symbol, and they use it for the Babylonian lion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show y'all this right quick. Look at this, man. No way around it. So hint the whole theme of the Babylonian lion. Hint the Boule Masons utilize the Babylonian lion with wings. The black Boule. And then notice the whole theme, Barak is the name of that Babylonian lion. And then hint Barack Obama. Remember, I've been breaking this man down. Hint he's a Leo. Hint the lion. The Leo, the lion. See how all this stuff comes together. You know what I mean? And look at this right here. You remember on I Am Legend, Will Smith, remember he was hunting the deer. And I'm gonna get into that later on. But hint the deer being hunted by the Babylonian lion. Food for the Babylonian lion. That's why they want us, that's what that's what they want to lead us into. That's why they had to play against the Suns. When I broke that down on my series, I did a deep breakdown on this whole NBA, multiple occasions, everything. But this, as it's written, hint the Phoenix Suns, as it's written in the book of Isaiah, that the kingdom of God rise like the sun in the west. So that's why the Bucks had to beat the Suns, because that represented them trying to rebel and not enter into the kingdom of God, but declare themselves as Greek freaks and inherit their riches on earth. You know what I'm saying? And the whole theme, as it's written, when Israel was calling themselves Greeks, you know what I mean, instead of who they really are as Israel, as Jews. So in Galatians 3:28, there is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for you are all one in Yahushua. So hence the whole theme of how Israel, who didn't know who they were, as it's written, the Most High scattered us among all nations. And obviously, like now, how we call ourselves African American. The same thing with the Greek. You know what I mean? So it's all symbolism, and it's all an attack on our identity. That's why they got the whole commercial of "We are Caesars, we all Caesars." You know what I mean? There's no way around it. They all want us in Greek culture. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is crazy. But anyway, I want to get deep, because remember when I said that the Pistons, the game before the Bucks, they play against who? The Miami Heat. And your boy Isaiah Stewart is suspended for those 2 games. I'm about to get deep on this. He's suspended. Remember, I already said that the Messiah in the book of Isaiah 58, remember it says that he was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation, for he was cut off out of the land, for the transgression of my people was stricken, right? And it's deep because the whole thing of that, you know what I'm saying? Like how he missed those games, which is very serious, you know what I mean? Because remember I said the Bucks represents Israel in the wilderness, and then the Miami Heat, which is very serious. As you can see, I'm gonna break this down. As you can see, you got the score is 7-6 and then 77, and then notice you got 6 and 7 being shown. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all rehearsed and staged. They all know each other plays anyway. That's how they rig these games. And as you already know about the magnets and the balls, things of that nature. But look at how they got this time perfectly every time. No way around this. Look at this, man. Now remember what's so serious about this. Remember Braun, Wade, and Bosch. Remember, obviously, 3:16 and John 3:16. And remember the Messiah, as it's written, that the Most High sent his only begotten Son, So, as it's written, remember Chris Bosch was the one who had, remember he had a lung issue. Remember he had the blood clot in his lungs, right? So as we know, in John 19:34, when the Messiah got crucified, remember they put the spear inside of his lung, and then what came out? Blood and water. You know what I'm saying? Through his lungs. So hence the whole thing of Chris Bosch with the blood clots. And then what's so deep about that, the heat anyway represent nothing but the furnace, as it's written in his feet, like unto fine brass, as if they were burnt in a furnace, and his voice is as the sound of many waters. So hence the Messiah look as if he was burnt in the furnace. Hence all Bashmin anyway is the hottest part of the furnace, because it receives the most air and cold. You know what I mean? That's what Bosch means. So hence Christ Bosch. So you see how all that stuff connected right here. And that's why Isaiah wasn't in those two games. And notice the game that he returned back against come back from suspension. He played against the Lakers again in Los Angeles. Like, come on, man. And what's so crazy is this show called it's called Games People Play on BET, right? November 23rd. This is like 2 days after LeBron situation. Day or two after. So the show comes out and the player, he gets ejected from the game. You know what I mean? He gets kicked. He plays basketball and gets kicked out the game. You know what I'm saying? There's just no way around this stuff. As you can see, it's all in our face, and it's crazy because like I said, he gets kicked out the game. Excuse all of this, but anyway, he get kicked out the game, and then the show, what is it, the Clutch Sports, I think it got like this thing with the 6 people going into the draft. Rich Paul comes on right after that episode, and this was like Wednesday, and Rich Paul comes right on after. You already know that he's LeBron's agent, so notice that whole connection right there. The guy get kicked out the game, and then Rich Paul come on right after. You can see it premiering November 23rd at 10 p.m. Central, 11 Eastern time. Clutch Academy trailer, and then you see they had the game right on before that when the dude get kicked out. This stuff is all staged, man. There's no way around none of this, and it's deep because when you understand everything right now in the NBA with the standings in the NBA in the East and the West. Remember last year, I'm going to show it in a second, but notice that Philadelphia, the 76 is the lowest one right now. And not too long ago, the Washington Wizards was dominating the NBA in the East. And I ain't going to say dominate, but like they were, they had the best record in the East. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way around it. And then right now, Golden State is at the top, and then the Lakers are at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Golden State was at the bottom last year. So look at it. Notice 76ers was dominating. You know what I mean? They were number 1, and then number 8 was the Wizards. And then not too long ago, the Wizards was on top because the Wizards represent nothing but the Masons, the Sorcerers, the Wizards. They was just on top. And then now you see the 76ers are at the bottom, and the Wizards not too long ago was at the top. And then the Warriors obviously was at the bottom. They were ranked, I think, 9th. Yeah, they were at number 9, and then you already know they was at the bottom. So look how all this stuff connects. Because this year is the year of the Saints strengthening. The Saints are becoming more powerful. We're waking up. The signs are getting stronger. Hint Golden State Warriors, the Saints of God. Remember last year the Warriors had to play their way into the playoffs. This year, currently right now, if the playoffs was to start, they'd be the best in the West, the best team in the league. And remember, I already said that the same night that the Lakers played against the Pistons, what happened? Remember when I was just saying that? Remember the Warriors played against the the Raptors the same night, and they beat the Raptors. Hint the mark of the beast versus the Saints. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around none of this stuff, man, at all. Period. Hint while your boy Westbrook had to go from being a Wizard into joining the Lakers. Hint the Lakes. The rest of the man out to see the Messiah. Like all of this stuff connects, man. And I did a whole breakdown with Westbrook. I did it on a couple of NBA videos, and I did one specifically on him. It's all blasphemy. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So hint the Lakers schedule. Notice the game LeBron missed was against New York Knicks. And when you understand the New York, hint the Garden, the Mecca, the Garden, hint Garden of Eden. LeBron misses that game. And then he returns to play against Indiana. And then he's about to play against the Kings tomorrow. hint the Kings. And then he plays the Pistons. But notice that with how he misses the Garden game, and then he comes back to play Indiana. Hint the whole team of the Indiana. Remember, I was just talking about the Malice in the Palace earlier. Come on, man. Indiana versus the Pistons. And let's get even deeper, because when you understand how deep this goes, hint this game right here. You got LeBron. You see the 6 and 7 again. And then you got 33 right there. Hint the Messiah. The ascension is at 33. Hint the Messiah rises up. You know what I'm saying? And it's deep stuff, because when you understand that, the whole theme of the 67 and 33 by each other, Miles Turner. And then hint number 33 elbows LeBron. Hit the elbow again from 33 this time. And then notice this right here. 33 and 6 and 7 right by each other. And then 33 elbows LeBron on the head. Come on, man. This stuff is crazy. Hint LeBron, hint 71 and 6. Look at the 7-6 again. And then notice LeBron gets the fans ejected. The two fans, the man and woman. Remember that happened? Remember the fans had the situation with Indiana versus Pistons. Fans got banned from the game during the Malice in the Palace. Come on, man. Notice the date at the Palace Arena, because I'm from Detroit, and when you know about the Palace of Auburn Hills, it got destroyed so that they can move into the inner city, into downtown Detroit. Go from the suburban to downtown Detroit and go into the Little Caesars Arena, hint the Caesar. And when you understand the palace on top of the hill, hint that represents the kingdom of God, Mount Zion, symbolically upon the hill, the palace. So they destroy it, and they say, we're going to destroy the kingdom of God, and we're taking them back into our rulership to be what? Caesars, Greeks. Come on, man. I just show y'all this. We all Greek freaks. That's what they want us to be, right? That's how they want us to be. We are all Caesars. Come on, man. So it's like, come on, man. Let's get deep. I told y'all we get deep into this right now. So the day that the demolition happened, when the Palace of Auburn Hills was destroyed, was July 11th, 2020. July 11th is what? The 192nd day of the year, right? So hint, 192nd day of the year is July 11th. So when you look at this, hint, when you obviously understand math, hint square rooting 192. When you basically go to the basis, what's the root of the number? It's 13.8. So let's delve deep into this. Notice the palace gets destroyed. And I said 192, and then 1398 is the square root. The 192nd day of the year, 13.8 is the square root. Revelation 13:8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose name are not written in the book of life, but a lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So what do they want to do? They want to destroy the book of life. You know what I mean? They like, okay, that we want to try to destroy those who are of God's chosen people. We want to destroy them and make them Greek so that they don't enter the kingdom. And let's make them go into becoming Caesars. That junk crazy, man. It's insane. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. And the person who attacked, it's a man, the one who attacked Ron Artest anyway, his name was William Pawson. Remember during the Malice in the Palace? His name was William Pawson, hint William. So as it's written in Exodus 3:14, and God said unto Moses, my name is I am that I am. So hint the will of I am, William. And let's look at Ron Artest. His name is William. Ronald William Artest Jr., right? And notice how he changed his name to Meta World Peace. Because they say, okay, if we can take William out the way, we take the Messiah out the way, what'll happen? As it's written in Daniel chapter 8, and by peace he shall destroy many. By peace shall destroy many. So they saying they destroyed William, they took the Messiah from rising up, and by peace they shall destroy many. That's why the Lakers had to play against the Kings. Right after LeBron, you remember I said about the Indiana, I'm going to get into that in a minute. about the Garden, how LeBron misses the Garden and the Eden game, New York, and then what happens? He goes against the Indiana, and then he goes against the Kings, and then right after the Kings game that he got on the 26th, which is on Friday. It's gonna be, which is on Friday. Saturday, my fault. He's gonna what? He's gonna play against Detroit again and then go against the Kings again. So on Friday he play the Kings, then he go against Detroit, and then he gonna go against the King again. Come on, man. This stuff is all in our face. It's no way around this stuff. No way around it. You know what I mean? Hint, the Doughboys cash out, people familiar with Detroit, hint the 76. Come on, man. Let's get deep. Remember Isaiah Thomas had got hit in the face by Bill Cartwright. Hint, Bill is short for William, hint the I am that I am. And then Cartwright, when you understand the name Cartwright, which is very deep because Cartwright, it represents the Ark of the Covenant. I'm going to get into that later on. But hint this whole theme of how he was choking his assistant coach after he got hit in the eye. Same injury as Isaiah Stewart. He got hit in the eye. And see, choking his coach. What was his coach name? His coach name is Chuck Daly. And at the time, Jack was the general manager. Hint, Jack is short for Jacob. Hint, the 12 tribes of Israel come out of Jacob. And hint, the owner was William Davidson. Hint, the son of David. Remember, the Messiah comes through the house of David. Hint, William. And Chuck. When you understand Chuck is short for Charles. If you remember the Willy Wonka, hint William, and remember Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, hint Charlie inherited the chocolate factory from William, hint, basically the Messiah inherits the heir to be on the throne and rule the kingdom from the Most High, hint Charles and William, the I am that I am. So it's all in our face. And then Chuck, on the show Supernatural, remember Chuck was God. Remember that. So it all connects. So you see how all that stuff comes together. And there's just no way around these rituals. No way around it. Hint that. And then Bill Lambier is standing right by Isaiah Thomas and, Bill Cartwright, the one who hurt him, right? Because when you understand that whole thing with the cart as it's written, and they set upon the God, in 2 Samuel 6:3, and they set the ark of God upon the new cart. And they drove the new cart. Hint, the Ark of the Covenant goes upon what? The cart. That's why J. Cole called himself the middle child, because hint, the Messiah is in the midst. Remember, as it said, wherever two or more are gathered, that he dwells in the midst of them. So you see J. Cole riding around in the cart, and you see he got the great Fago, because the whole thing as it's written that the Messiah head, look at this, his eyes look as if they are red as wine. You know what I mean? Hint, grapes make wine. Anointing, drink of my blood. That's why they had poured beer on the head of Ron Artest, during the Malice in the Palace. Okay, you want to be anointed, but we're going to destroy you by peace and lead people away, from William. Stuff is crazy. And Isaiah Stewart, before he was in the NBA, he wore number 33, man. Come on, bruh. Notice when Karl Malone hit Isaiah Thomas in the head. Notice you got Nature Harvest. Me and a brother was studying this. Shout out to the brother. You know who you are, man. He had sent me this right here, that and the Bill Cartwright. Good stuff, bro. I really appreciate it. Shout out to you. So you see, you got Nature's Harvest, hint the harvesting of nature, hint the whole theme of the harvest. Hint the Messiah being prepared to become king. Notice you got Pistons and Jazz, hint 6 and 6 right there. And then 7:40 on the clock. Hint all of this the 766. And then the Pistons and Jazz. Hint Jazz represents the horns and the trumpets of God. And then the Chicago Bulls that happened with Bill Cartwright. I forgot to mention that. Hint the Bulls, as is written in Revelation 4:7, that the Messiah is as the Lion of Judah, the royal bull. He's as the flying bird, and he is as the when you understand all this stuff just comes together. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way around it. The Son of Man, Royal Bull, Lion of Judah, and the flying bird. And you see Carl Malone, because when you understand the name Carl, it derives out of Kara, which don't mean nothing but what? The anointed Messiah. That's why on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, remember you had Carlton and you had Will Smith, and they were cousins. But they utilized these forms, you know what I mean, of the Messiah. The William, and then you got the Will Smith, and then you had Carlton, and Kara, and William, the I am that I am. And you see how he hit him and gave him 40 stitches. And he had, and Karl Malone wears number 32. And as you can see, you got number 6 right here, who's right by him. And remember in the game, I forgot to mention, I forgot to get the picture. It's my fault. But the game that this happened with Bill Cartwright, Isaiah Thomas had on number 32 at the time. He scored 32 points when he had got the injury. He had 32 points scored. My fault. So all this stuff comes together. He had 32 points when he had the eye injury, and then your boy, when Karl Malone hit him, he wears number 32. All in our face. You know what I mean? And I want to get deeper too, because when you understand this right here, the Lakers, like I said, they had to play against Indiana. When you understand Indiana Pacers are named after what? They named after, remember they used to have in Indiana they used to have like the car races, they like the track racing. Hint Kara. And the Pacers don't mean nothing but the cars. And in 1967, this stuff is crazy. Chuck Barnes is the one who helped invest and bring forth the Indiana Pacers in 1976. Hint the 67 and 76 with Chuck, right? Let's delve deeper into this. I want to delve deep into the whole thing with the car, and like remember I was talking about Kara with the Pacers. And then right after that game, the Lakers play the Kings. Come on, man. Lakers play the Kings right after they play the Indiana Pacers. So let's, like I said, let's get deep, man. So remember when I said 1976 is when the Pacers come about, right? In Revelation 12, as it's written, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars, and she being with child, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads, 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head, sought to destroy the child soon as he was born, because the child was caught up unto the throne of God, and he shall rule all the nations with a rod of iron. So you see that the red dragon, which all this stuff, when we understand the 7 heads, 10 horns, that represents the whole theme of the union and things of that nature, everything of that nature. But when you understand 7 times 10, hint that's 70s. You know what I'm saying? And hint the 7 crowns, hint July, the 7th month, hint July 4th, it's Independence Day, the high day, Illuminati Day. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand how deep that goes, because in 1976 too is the Chinese, dragon year. It was the dragon year. So hint how all that, all comes together. You know what I mean? And the reason why I want to delve into 1976 is because hint 1976 to 2021, the Messiah is what, 45. And I want to show y'all this right quick. I want to break down this 45 right quick, because hint on Squid Games, remember the main character wore 456, and he was number 45, 456, hint 45, and then hint the girl was 67, and then hint 218, hint 2021. 21 is the year of the prophecy of the Messiah, the signs getting stronger that he comes into being revealed. And then hint the 21, 4, 5, 6, and then 67. Remember, I've been breaking the 76 down. And I broke the Squid Games down already, but I got a whole 2 videos on that, but I want to keep this rolling. Because remember I said 1976 to 2021 is 45. Hint on Squid Games, the main character, like the one who was running the show, he wore number 9. He was born in 1976. And notice you got 76 right here. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to talk about is this player, what's his name? Sekou, if I'm not mistaken. He wore number 40. He wears number 45, and he was with the Pistons. And then he actually he had joined the Lakers, and they waived him. They recently waived him. You know what I'm saying? They recently waived him. He's number 45, and he was a Piston player, and they got rid of him. So let's delve even deeper into this. This stuff is no joke. Let's get deep. When you square root 1976, you get 44.45. So there's no way around that. 44.45. I'm going to break that 44 down for people who ain't familiar. For those who watch my channel already know where I'm going with this. But notice you get 45. That's why during the time of the Pistons versus Indiana, look at it. It was 45.9 seconds left on the clock. Soon as Ron Artest got hit with the wine, the beer, right? At the time, Mike Brown was the coach of the Indiana Pacers. You know what I mean? He was coaching over there. And Mike Brown connected with LeBron on the Lakers. Like, come on, man. How he was involved with the Malice in the Palace. Like, come on. And he connected to LeBron. Notice when you subtract 2004, when you subtract 1976, obviously, from 2020, from 2004, what do you get? You get 28, right? So the Malice in the Palace happened in 2004. And when I was talking about 1976 with the Indiana Pacers starting that year, and in 2004 with the Malice in the Palace, and then when I was mentioning 1976 with the birth year of Messiah. Notice your boy he wears number 28. And when you subtract 2004 with 1976, you get 28. And he wears number 28. Let's delve into this. It's deep because when you square root 2004, what is it? 44.7, right? So let's get into that 44, man. When you understand the number 44, 44 deals with the Ark of the Covenant. That's why Obama had to be the 44th president, because they want to hijack the Ark of the Covenant. Remember I said they want to destroy us being the children of God, and they want to make us Caesars, want to make us Greeks, Romans, Babylonians. You know what I'm saying? Notice why Busta Rhymes Break the Neck video, he got 44 on the license plate right there. Because they want to break the head. They want the Messiah head to be gone. They don't want him to rule over them. That's why the Wu-Tang had the song Protect Your Neck. They had the Wu-Tang guillotine. They want to take the Messiah's head away from being a head ruler. You know what I'm saying? Notice Ron Artest right here, the guy who's holding him, right? The white dude who's holding him. Notice what? 44. He wears number 44. Who's holding Ron Artest during the Malice in the Palace. I remember they got suspended. Remember during that time, they got suspended for games. But the whole thing with Isaiah Stewart, how he gets suspended longer than LeBron for 2 games. He come back, play against the Lakers, and LeBron play against the Pacers. Remember I said in Isaiah 53:8, Messiah, he was taken from prison and from judgment. Who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. Come on, man. No way around this. Like, it's all in our face. Notice Jermaine O'Neal wore number 44, I think, in high school. He wore number 44 in high school. Come on, man. A pacer. You already know he was the main one throwing them hands with Ron Artest. You know what I mean? Number 44. Notice Lil Wayne got 44.7 on his 44 right there, and there's a Millie video on his trailer. I can show millions of these. Notice your boy B right there on the Pistons. They got 41 in the mist right there. Remember Kobe allegedly, got the guys off at 41, right? As a matter of fact, let me show y'all something, man. Hint Kobe's helicopter was a 76B helicopter. You know what I mean? I wanted to just show y'all that. 76. All right? Messiah rising up, they want to bring him down. You know what I mean? So look at that right there. B right in the midst. He wears number 41, right? You remember your boy, like I said, with the Kobe at 41. And then right now, you know, they retiring Dirk's jersey in the beginning of the year. They retiring his jersey, which is what, number 41, right? And it's deep stuff. Let's get a little deeper right quick before I end this. Notice Rick Carlisle is the Pacers coach right now. And remember, he used to be coaching with Dirk. You know what I'm saying? And when you understand the Dallas Mavericks, hint the Maverick, all that represents the white horse. And you know, as it's written in Revelation, that the saints of God should be riding upon the white horses with the Messiah coming into rulership. So I want to end that right here, man. There's no way around this stuff. Stay tuned. I got more coming. Peace.